Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live news recap covering today's most ridiculous headlines. Actually, today was hilarious. Lots of Block GC also contains widgets. Yeah, I know. Let me make this bigger real quick. Hey, there we go. All right, so we got a lot of news to cover today. Some of today's headlines were hilarious. I guess yesterday, Wallstreet decided to coin a new term, and when Donald Trump was asked about it, he was not very happy. I guess the term is called TACO, which now stands for Trump always chickens out, and referred to his on-again, off-again tariff policies. So Wall Street thinks he's a joke now, and everything, his entire world is falling apart. A judge did rule shortly that his tariff policies were unconstitutional, and they had to immediately cease them, and then they had to also then reinstate them, which I'm pretty sure it's not a good sign for Donald Trump, the fact that they ruled it against him to begin with, because, I mean, what kind of defense could they possibly have as to why they're implementing all these tariffs? So it's been a good day. Honestly, Donald Trump being called a chicken by Wall Street was probably the best news I've had all year. MAGA influencers, or I'm sorry, Maha influencers, do raw milk shots at the White House. Maybe we'll get lucky in natural selection. We'll just take its course, because we have people that are not getting vaccinated, and now they're just drinking raw milk. Go ahead. I say keep going. There's a new proposed bill in the House, I believe, that allows cops to use drones to do surveillance for public safety, they say. Also, there's an amazing rumor going around that Elon Musk and Stephen Miller and Stephen Miller's wife may have been in a throuple. I didn't even know that was a term. And there's also rumors floating around. There's a lot of rumors that Stephen Miller's wife left him for Elon Musk. Shocking news, I don't know if you guys knew this, but we have an actual neo-Nazi as the press secretary for the Department of Defense. I was unaware of that, but I will go over more of her information as well. Foreign media, not American media, but foreign media is calling out Donald Trump and his obvious dementia, including Russia. That's how they've decided to go after Donald Trump for his ridiculous demands on, or threats, or whatever you want to call them, on Truth Social. So now even Russia is saying that he obviously has dementia, which is hilarious. Also, I didn't realize this until last night, but I think the right-wing influencer bubble has officially burst. I think it's officially over, or at least this is the beginning of the end of it, and I think it has to do with Donald Trump. So I have a theory on that as well. So we have some more stuff to get into as well. We have a lot of news articles to cover, so let's get into it. If you're watching, if you can, please share this video, or interact with it as much as you possibly can, just to get the word out there and see how many people we can get in here today. So where do we want to start? Let me see. I want to start with, let's start with the whole taco thing, because this is just the best freaking thing ever. I heard about this last night after I got off of last night's stream, and was just dying laughing. But this is the video of when Donald Trump is actually asked what he thinks about Wall Street calling him a chicken, and apparently this is the first time he's heard this news. He did not take it well. It's a fantastic reaction. Oh, sorry.
Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100, and then
Why is Janine Pirro there?
down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country, and because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because
It's matter and matter.
we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me. He said, "You got the hottest. We have the hottest country in the world right."
What does that mean? We have the hottest country in the world right now.
6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you.
What is he talking about? Everything was fine 6 months ago. Everything was actually pretty good 6 months ago.
Ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got? Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up.
What? That was that was a complete orange salad. That is absolutely hilarious. It's hot in Florida, yeah. That's great. So this is not. I have not seen his Truth Social feed yet. I have not looked at it yet intentionally, just because I have a feeling he is just raging today, especially regarding this comment here. And Caroline Leavitt responds, because this is devastating to Donald Trump. When the court ruled that they might have a slight reprieve because they gave him a little bit more time, but when the court ruled that his tariff policies are unconstitutional and he just can't do it, that's a big problem for Donald Trump, because he's a one-trick pony. That is all he has in his bag. He has no other policies, no other ideas. Everything he talks about is tariff this, tariff that, blah, blah, blah. And then I keep calling him the boy that taco is good, but I always call him the boy who cried tariff, because, once you make so many empty threats and you back down every single time without getting anything in return, but then going on the media and pretending like you just made this amazing deal, it makes you look silly. It makes you look weak. And that's so it's truly embarrassing, though, that we have a president that can't govern, has no idea how. And we all know that his chief advisor when it comes to tariffs is Peter Navarro. Peter Navarro is his expert go-to guy on tariffs. Peter Navarro is the reason Donald Trump is so gung-ho on tariffs, because Peter Navarro wrote books about tariffs. Remember this? Because Peter Navarro quoted a expert in his books several times. Actually, several books. He used the same expert. Ron Vera, which was just ended up being an anagram of Navarro. Could even make up a name without this. It's just the anagram of Navarro, and it's not a real person. So they're using fake sources as a tariff expert, and that's who Donald Trump is going to for his advice on economic policy. But that is all Donald Trump has in his bag, tariffs. If they take that away from him, he has nothing left. He has nothing left. If he can't make the threats of tariffs, what is he going to do? What is he truly going to do? So the White House responds, of course, negatively to the judge's ruling. Now it's obviously been paused, but this is Caroline Leavitt, KK Caroline, responding to the judge's just overreach. And apparently one of the judges that ruled on this, because it was a unanimous 3-0 decision, was a Trump-appointed judge. But of course, that's an issue.
Last night, the Trump administration faced another example of judicial overreach. Using his full and sober legal authority, President Trump imposed universal tariffs and reciprocal tariffs on Liberation Day to address the extraordinary threat to our national security and economy posed by large and persistent.
Yeah, Amanda's comment says, are tariffs on or not now? We are so confused in Canada. We're confused in America, so don't feel like you're the only ones. We're totally confused in America. We have no idea what's going on right now.
Annual U.S. goods trade deficits. The United States has run a trade deficit of goods every year since 1975. In 2024, our trade deficit in goods exceeded $1 trillion. Everybody agrees
she is out of breath.
This is unacceptable. President Trump is delivering on his promise to fix this problem, and he has taken a long overdue and much needed bold stance for American workers.
See, a trade deficit has nothing to do. They're making it sound like, all right, never mind.
After decades of our manufacturing base being hollowed out. The president's rationale for imposing these powerful tariffs was legally sound and grounded in common sense. President Trump correctly believes
common sense. Common sense. Okay.
that America cannot function safely long term if we are unable to scale advanced domestic manufacturing capacity, have our own secure critical supply chains, and our defense industrial base is dependent on foreign adversaries. 3 judges of the U.S. Court of International Trade disagreed and brazenly abused their judicial power to usurp the authority of President Trump to stop him from carrying out the mandate that the American people gave him. These judges failed to acknowledge that the President of the United States has core foreign affairs powers and authority given to him by Congress to protect the United States economy and national security.
Okay, then Congress has to vote on it. Okay, so if Congress is all good with it, then let Congress vote on it. That's how it's supposed to work. Donald Trump just can't go running around tariffing the shit out of everybody. I mean, so far we've even gone as far as tariffing an island that only has penguins in the country of Mattel. And the toys that we get from the country of Mattel. Not kidding. Not kidding. That was a thing that he said. And this dipshit's running the country. Amazing, right? Oh my God, you guys got to see this video. I have another video of Caroline Levitt I want to show you. But first, I want to show you a clip from CNN where I can't remember the woman's name that they have on here, but she's from the I've Had It podcast on YouTube. And they tear Trump apart on a regular basis. And they call him what... And here is one of the guys from Shark Tank that's a big Trump supporter. And they're just defending how bad Donald Trump is. And their key argument is they always want to go back to Joe Biden. And now they've named, get this, they've named Jake Tapper as a whistleblower regarding Joe Biden's mental fitness. He's not a doctor. He's just a CNN reporter who wrote a book claiming that there's a cover-up regarding Joe Biden's mental fitness. So now they're going to use Jake Tapper as a fucking whistleblower. Even though Joe Biden has nothing to do with anything right now. Nothing that's happening right now was caused by Joe Biden. Everything was perfectly fine the day Joe Biden left office. The minute Donald Trump took over. The actual second Donald Trump took over. Everything turned to shit. And they want to talk about Joe Biden's mental fitness. It's all a distraction. Now they're going to spend the next 2 years investigating Joe Biden's mental fitness. What are they going to do? Impeach him again? Try and impeach him again? Now that he's not even president? Is that the plan? Is that what we're going to waste taxpayer money on now? You already wasted 2 years going after him for bullshit impeachment charges the last 2 years. That's why nothing got done in Congress. They spent all their time and effort going after Joe and Hunter Biden. And every claim was disproven. That's why there's never been a single charge pressed against Joe Biden. And the fact that his son got convicted was complete bullshit and political revenge. I mean, they even said that the charges that he was tried or convicted of, and they were willing to send him to prison of, normally would be like a fine and probation. But they wanted to throw Hunter Biden in prison for that. And they wanted to impeach Joe Biden because he gave his brother a loan for a car. And now we got Donald Trump accepting planes and shit. And talking gibberish. And being owned left and right. And they want to talk about Joe Biden's mental fitness. So she just absolutely defends, attacks him in the best way. She literally says, why do you defend such a whiny titty baby? That's what she calls him. This is great.
second.
This
Absolutely
was
absurd,
a
and
word
everyone knows
salad
it.
edit. You remember the word
Yes,
salad
and
edit?
That
And
happens all, even
excuse
as
me,
this
let me
network
finish.
that
Let me
happens.
wasn't
finish.
that much better
If
than
this
the
had
actual
no
full
merit,
length piece.
if this
Right,
claim
exactly.
had no
Interview.
wait. If this claim had no merit, we wouldn't be talking about whether it's.
It has no merit.
CBS doesn't have
They
to settle.
were-
It has
Question
no
is, but they don't have to
merit.
settle the
Answer
lawsuit, but they might
a
imperil their deal.
I have a question. How do you guys constantly defend the biggest whining titty baby on the planet? He whines
Excuse
and whines.
me. Did all the executives of CBS lose their jobs on 60 Minutes? Yes or no? Yes. Was it a
Or
word
resign.
salad edit? Yes.
No.
Did
their
they
job.
breach
all
their
the time.
covenant
Baby,
That's
a whiner.
as
It's
reporters?
pathetic that you
Yes.
defend
Wait,
it.
what covenant?
It is truly it's pathetic. It's pathetic how much they all defend them. Yeah, it's I hit news. They're great. They're fantastic. That's how they talk on the show. I'm so glad they called him out like that on the day, the same day he's getting all this bad news regarding his only economic policy, which is his tariffs. It's got to end up falling apart. It's slowly starting to fall apart. Oh, and the thing I wanted to mention, because we talked about right-wing influencers yesterday, I think they're done. I think they're cooked, honestly, because no, people are starting to see through the bullshit, and it's not because of the things that they're saying. They see how bad the Donald Trump is because they made all these promises. Think about it. All these right-wing bros, they literally have everything they could possibly want now. But all of a sudden, as a result of Donald Trump's complete incompetence and the fact that he's pardoning criminals and contradicting everything he promised on the campaign trail, all these ideals of theirs are just being seen for what they are, which is complete bullshit. You know, they try to paint a great picture, but now, you know, theories are great. Theories are great. But once you put them into practice, if obviously it doesn't work, then your theory was shit to begin with. It wasn't a solid theory. You know what I mean? Ideas are great. But if you don't have a solid plan on how to implement any of the ideas, then you have nothing, which is what the Trump administration has. They had a bunch of ideas, not good ideas, just ideas they thought were good ideas that they had no idea how to implement. And now you're seeing the result of what happens when people have no idea what they're doing. And they will not let go of this ridiculous idea of tariffs. But the attack against Harvard continues. Harvard also won in court recently. And I can't believe this is the other clip of Caroline Levitt. I can't believe she actually said this. But she said that we don't need people to graduate from Harvard. We need more plumbers. We don't need more gay people, is how she kind of puts it. So I guess she thinks all people that graduate from Harvard are gay, and we need more, I don't know, manual labor type individuals. We need a larger slave labor force. We don't need educated people. That's what they're saying. So let me play this video. These people are ridiculous.
And the president is more interested in giving that taxpayer money to trade schools and programs in state schools where they are promoting American values, but most importantly, educating the next generation based on skills that we need in our economy and our society. Apprenticeships, electricians, plumbers. We need more of those in our country and less LGBTQ graduate majors from Harvard.
I didn't know you could study LGBTQ. Is that a college course I was never aware of? Let's play that again. LGBT graduates.
In our country and less
Sorry, good tongue-tied.
LGBTQ graduate majors from Harvard University. And that's what this administration's
If you go to college right now and you're majoring in LGBTQ, can you please reach out to us? I'm actually kind of curious what kind of courses they teach and stuff.
position is. And we also are not going to tolerate the illegal criminal anti-Semitic behavior that
there it
takes
is.
place at Harvard and many
There it
other
is,
campuses
guys.
across the country.
There it is, guys. Israel. Protests against Israel. They will not tolerate. All ties back to Israel somehow. A lot of this stuff does, man. This is actually really disturbing. I had no idea how truly evil and diabolical some of the things that Israel's done. Actually, since we're speaking of Israel, that's a good segue here. Supposedly, Netanyahu says Israel is accepting Witkoff, the Gaza truce proposal, but I'm seeing videos that they're still bombing and killing people. on social media. So I take this for a grain of salt, even if he said it on camera just to take some of the heat off the situation. If you dig deep enough, you'll find videos of people talking about what's really happening in Gaza. And it's not a truce by any means. It's not a defensive war, okay? It's not a defensive war like they claim. This is full-on straight-up genocide, and I'm tired of our country defending this shit. I've fully made up my mind on this. I am not, but also, I don't know how this story slipped by me, but this is from April 10th. More Israel shit. Meta hires over 100 former Israeli soldiers, raising alarms over bias and censorship. For some reason, I want to say I heard of this, but I never actually looked into it. Reinforcing concerns about the I can't say that word. You see what it is right there, okay? But I'm not going to try it again. Social media platforms investigative report employed 100 former soldiers from the Israeli occupation army, some of whom served in military units implicated in violations against Palestinians. The revelations have sparked a storm of questions about the platform's neutrality and its commitment to freedom of expression. And some of these people were involved in like some seriously bad groups within the Israeli army. So that happened. So again, Israel's infected our country with this shit. Not just our politics, but also our social media platforms. Isn't that super? Isn't that super? More on Donald Trump's staff that are completely incompetent and don't know what they're doing. We have Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino, if you remember, is the deputy director of the FBI. He's a right-wing influencer. Okay, he's not qualified for this position whatsoever. He announced that they're going to, hey, thank you for the donation, Jeanette. Thank you so much. You donated on our GoFundMe link as well. Thank you so much. He is saying now that they are going to release videos showing that no one was there but Epstein, that Epstein did in fact kill himself. Because, of course, one of the right-wing theories is that he was killed, not committed. He didn't commit suicide. He was actually murdered. That's the theory. So they want to vow to release but here's my question. Who gives a shit? Or here, I guess is not a question, but, well, I guess it is. Yeah, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? We don't care if Epstein killed himself or got murdered. Nobody cares. He's where he belongs. He's in hell, if you believe in that kind of thing. We want to know where the Epstein files are. Have they been shredded? Do they still exist? Are they planning on releasing any of those videos that we've heard about? No mention of that. So again, this is another distraction. They just feed their little loyal dogs a little bone, and it takes the heat off of them for a little bit. But this is only going to last so long because the right wing truly believes that Donald Trump was not part of the Epstein thing, even though obviously anybody with eyes and half a brain could see that they were best friends for over a decade. But the longer they put off releasing those conspiracy theorists are starting to turn on the FBI, like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. So they're actually doing more damage than they are good. And at this point, we don't even know if the Epstein files still exist. Do we? I mean, honestly, I don't think they even exist anymore. I think they've been down the shredder or the toilet. I mean, Donald Trump likes to flush shit down the toilet. So that could have happened as well. Oh, real quick, I want to take just a few seconds to talk about next couple shows that we have lined up. I'm going to be doing another live stream tomorrow from 2 to 4. Or I'm sorry, 6 to 8. What the hell, man? My brain is all over the place right now. I'm sorry. I have like 10 thoughts going on at once. So tomorrow I'm going to do another live stream. I've actually streamed 10 or 11 days in a row now. I may just keep the streak going and stream again tomorrow. Or maybe it's been a couple weeks now. I'll have to look. Every day I've been doing this for at least an hour to up to 2 hours sometimes. Plus I do the gaming stuff, like the video game stuff is an actual thing that, I do and people seem to enjoy. So I'm online a lot. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. So we have a couple great guests coming in, or actually, the organization that we did the rally with in DC, the one we helped organize, they're going to be back on the show because they're helping organize another event that I'm going to in Atlantic City on the 16th, which was going to be called No King's Day, Donald Trump's birthday. It's also the same day as that stupid ass parade he's planning on holding. We'll see if that even happens or not. I've heard from people in DC that they have been moving military equipment into the city for the event. So it looks like it is happening for now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so they'll be back on the show. And then Tuesday, two more people from the organization are going to be on the show. So we'll be talking a lot about protests upcoming. I'll be talking about some local stuff I got going on. We'll be talking about the DC one that I'm going to here in 8 days. 8 days, I'll be back in Washington, D.C. I'll be meeting up with a lot of people, that some that have helped organize that event. Dropkick Murphys is going to be playing live. I mean, this is going to be massive. So the whole point of the one in D.C. on the 6th is to make it bigger than the one on I said the 16th, I think. Yeah, the 14th. The 14th. Yeah. So we're hoping to make this massive, hopefully hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, anything's possible in D.C. If you have the right connections and you have the right amount of people involved, the sky's the limit. But we need that kind of turnout. So I'm hoping to meet some high-profile people, as well as live stream a lot of it and get some good interviews as well. I've been told I can meet some very high-profile people, which is awesome. So thanks to you guys so far, we have raised $400. So we're 40% the goal. I'm trying to raise $1,000 before I leave, so I can book a hotel. If I can't raise any more, I'll probably make it a day trip and probably not stay overnight because the hotels there are ridiculously expensive. Even if you're like a half an hour, 40 minutes outside of DC, they're expensive. So either way, I'm going to go. It doesn't matter if, I stay overnight or not. I can make a day trip out of it if I have to. But if you guys are able to donate, the GoFundMe link is in our link tree, which is in the description of this video. It's on all our profile pages, as well as the GoFundMe, which is the first link. If you can donate, great. If not, just share this video. Or maybe if you know somebody that's looking to donate to a good cause or whatever, you know what I mean? Anything you guys could do to help. Word of mouth is very important as well. So we're getting there, though. You guys are stepping up. You guys always step up. When we have a goal that we need to reach, you guys have always stepped up for us. So I have full confidence that you guys will do the same for this. And I have to believe that when people actually invest money into something, that they truly believe in it. So that's why I feel like I really do feel like you guys believe in us, because people don't give out money for nothing. You know what I mean? Not in this world. So we appreciate all of you. I'm getting a little choked up just talking about this, but we love all you guys. We love all you guys. This has been an amazing journey, and it's not stopping anytime soon. This is going to be our year. We're going to be a pain in the right wing ass this year. I guarantee it. And we're not going to be covering our faces like little bitches like the Proud Boys or any of these other idiots do. You're going to see my face all over the United States this year. So thank you very much. Again, those who donated, if you can help out, fantastic. We love you. We're also working on getting sponsors and stuff like that. I have a letter written up, and I'm making a list. Again, if you guys have any suggestions of organizations we could reach out to, you can email us at the VOR podcast and gaming at gmail.com, or you can DM me on any of the social media platforms that are in my link tree. That's another easy way to reach out. So I don't block messaging on any of my stuff. I got a lot of hate messages. Holy shit. I got called a race trader once. I had to laugh. I'm like, well, that's a new one. That's a new one. So, all right. Moving on. So let me play this video back to Bongino, because this is hilarious. Dan Bongino goes on the news now, and these are supposed to be these big, tough alpha males, right? So, but here's Bongino whining about how hard his job is. I shit you not. This guy's whining about having to be there at like 7:30 in the morning and having to like work in an office, and because he's a podcast bro. He's a grifter. He's not used to, like, he's had some high profile positions in the past within the government, but ever since then, he's just turned into one of these right wing grifters. And that's what they want. They just want to sit around and, spread their propaganda and not actually do anything. But here he is actually complaining like we're going to feel bad for you about your job. You're the deputy director of the FBI. It's probably one of the coolest fucking jobs you could have in this world. And you're bitching and moaning because it's too difficult. These people are such snowflakes, such victims.
I gave up everything for this. I mean, my wife is struggling. I'm not a victim. I'm not Jim Comey. It's fine. I did this, and I'm proud I did it. But if you think we're there for tea and crumpets, well, I mean, Cash is there all day.
Oh, my God.
We share it. Our offices are linked. He turns on the faucet. I hear it. He's there.
You mean to tell me that being the head of the FBI is a hard job? Oh, my God. This is news to me, guys. This is news to me. I thought being the director of an intelligence sector, I thought that was hard, but bad.
He gets in like 6 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't leave till 7 at night. I'm in there at 7:30 in the morning. He uses the gym. I work out in my apartment. But I stare at these 4
Oh, nice. You have a gym in your apartment, you douche.
walls
Okay.
all day in D.C., by myself, divorced from my wife. Not divorced, but I mean separated, divorced. And it's hard. I mean, we love each other, and it's hard to be apart.
But you do.
Oh, you have to be away from your wife to go to work. You poor man. Oh, he loves his wife so much that he doesn't even want to go to work. That's his excuse. I love my wife so much. I just can't bear to be away from her. All right, these guys are pathetic. Snowflakes, every single one of them. Completely ridiculous. All right, so we're going to get to some of the news stories that we can cover here. One of which I found out about today was called H.R. 3598. And the 119th Congress is a bill that would amend Title 49 of the United States Code to establish a pilot program for small, non-lethal de-escalation unmanned aircraft. These aircraft would be used by law enforcement and for public safety purposes. This was introduced on the 23rd of this year. Yeah, drones. Now they want to use drones to spy on us. Non-lethal. What the hell does that? So they're going to be weaponized just with non-lethal. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Really, is that what we're going to do? Drones? We're going to spy on the American population with drones. That's crazy. Also, I don't know if you guys heard, but apparently snug deep in the big, beautiful bill is almost $1 billion set aside for ICE bonuses. Yes, ICE bonuses. The fascists who are literally kidnapping people and not just taking them straight to jail, not allowing them to see their friends, their family, their lawyers. They want to give them almost $1 billion in our money for bonuses. If you divided it up, I think Jamie Raskin asked, if you divided it up, it came out to like $40,000 per ICE employee as a bonus on top of their salary. 40 G's on top of their already exorbitant salary. I told you guys, Donald Trump's personal Gestapo. It's not a joke. It's not even an exaggeration at this point. We are not being hyperbolic. We are being 100% factual. Now, what if they gave ICE the power to control these drones? And they're going to pay out giant-ass bonuses. And I think they said the average bonus for the average American a year, and on average, most people don't get a bonus, but on average, it's $2,500. And they want to give 40 grand per ICE employee as a bonus for them breaking the law. These people, we need to have Nuremberg trials in America. All right, let's just call it now. I want the next candidate that runs for president to run. James was right, our co-host on Monday. If the next person that runs on a platform of the next Nuremberg trials, they would probably win in a landslide at this point, because everybody sees this for what it is. Everybody's starting to see this. Well, MAGA has blinders on. The 3-time Trump voters, forget about them. They're lost. They're lost. The only way they're going to see it is if it truly affects them in a negative way. And a lot of them are seeing it. You know what I mean? A lot of them, like, they're white men married to Latino women. Now they've been deported. And they're like, oh, my God, I didn't realize it was going to affect me. Well, yeah, you dumb shit. We told you it was. Like, nowhere in Project 2025 does it say except for people that voted for Donald Trump, which means everything in Project 2025 applies unilaterally to every single American in this country. Okay? Regardless of who you voted for, especially if you have brown skin or a Latino last name. You know what I mean? I worry about my kids' family. I'm not close with them, but my kids' mom is Mexican. Their family's Mexican. You know what I mean? Their last name is Herrera. And there's ICE in my city of 35,000. We have a brand new ICE facility they just built that we're actually talking about protesting at, that they built here. So they're going after everybody. They're going after them everywhere. And they have massive amounts of funding. Just think, they want to put more money into ICE and detention facilities and border bullshit than they do the actual Iron or Golden Dome, which is supposed to be a super high-tech missile defense system that includes satellites in outer space. But they want to put more money into ICE than they do to that. So if that's not alarming to you, I don't know how else to fucking explain it. I don't. But this is beyond fucked up. I guess it's really the only way to put it. So yeah, moving on from that, I have a couple great tidbits about Maha. And the White House has acknowledged, to the surprise of no one, that there are problems in the Maha report. You remember that very super duper detailed 70-page, of course I'm being sarcastic, 70-page report that they published. Well, it would appear they were quoting studies that do not exist. They faked it. Okay, so here's the article, though, or the synopsis. The White House acknowledged that the report issued on the 22nd, which we talked about, by the commission led by RFK Jr., contained formatting problems and committed to making corrections. No, it wasn't formatting problems. The report, overseen by the head of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, analyzed factors contributing to chronic illnesses in children and referenced numerous studies, some of which were later found to be either non-existent or inaccurately attributed. Notice revealed that at least 7 cited studies in the 72-page Maha report do not appear published, and several denied involvement with papers credited in the report. The White House spokesperson acknowledged the report's formatting issues, but maintained these mistakes do not undermine its overall findings. Well, they kind of do. Because if you're quoting non-existent studies, then you have no overall findings. Your findings are that they're bullshit. What are we talking about? But it gets worse. For Department of Health and Human Services. This isn't even the craziest part. Okay, so I have a video of Caroline Leavitt. I may as well play that now before we move on. Her reacting to being asked about this, about how the Maha report is all bullshit. And this is here. She's barely treading water on these responses anymore.
Thanks so much, Caroline. A notice investigation found that the Hallmark Maha Commission report that was released last week cites studies that appear to not exist. We know that because, in part, we reached out to some of the listed authors who said that they didn't write the studies. So I want to ask, does the White House have confidence that the information coming from HHS can be trusted?
Yes, we have complete confidence in Secretary Kennedy and
They do, but none of us do.
his team at HHS. I understand there were some formatting issues with the Maha report that are being addressed, and the report will be updated, but it does not negate the substance of the report, which, as you know, is one of the most transformative health reports that has ever been released.
70 pages is the most transformative health report ever released. 70 pages. That's crazy. I just realized you guys can't see the video, but you guys can hear it. I'll play it again.
That was released last week cite studies that appear to not exist. We know that because in part we reached out to some of the listed authors who said that they didn't
Sorry,
read
Pam.
the studies cited. So I want to ask, does the White House have confidence that the information coming from HHS can be trusted?
Yes, we have complete confidence in Secretary Kennedy and his team at HHS. I understand there were some formatting issues with the Maha report that are being addressed, and the report will be updated, but it does not negate the substance of the report, which, as you know, is one of the most transformative health reports that has ever been released by the federal government, and is backed on good science that has never been recognized by the federal government.
It's because it's pseudoscience, which is another fancy way of saying it's not science. It's conspiracy theories and quacks and reports that are just fake and false.
Can you talk about what tools or research goes into production of these kinds of reports? For instance, is it AI that's used to produce these reports now?
I can't speak to that. I would defer you to the Department of Health and Human Services. What I know is just what I told you.
They basically just said that ChatGPT wrote the report. That's fantastic. All right, so that was their response to the fact. It's so sad. It's not even that they can't do their jobs. It's just they lie. Not only are they incompetent, they try and cover it up. And when they cover it up, they do it in the most dumb way possible that gets exposed quite honestly right away. Almost immediately. On top of that, Health and Human Services is canceling nearly $600 million worth of Moderna contract on vaccines for flu pandemics. Another one. And there's a new COVID variant going around that they're calling razor throat. The razor throat variant. Sounds like fun. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services canceled $766 million contract with Moderna in July 2024 to develop the mRNA vaccine targeting pandemic influenza, including bird flu. This funding was initially awarded through BARDA to support development of Moderna's, I'm not going to read all that, vaccine using COVID-19 technology after a $590 million contract was announced in 2021. So they're looking for, or these are the people that are studying bird flu and trying to come up with vaccines for stuff like that, and they've pulled funding for it. That's not good. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Oh man, can I change it to English? There we go. A lot of times I like looking at articles from outside the United States, and I'll show you why later, especially when it comes to Donald Trump, because we're not getting the same reporting as other countries are regarding Donald Trump. So Donald Trump has dealt its final blow to vaccines, canceling nearly $600 million contract to develop a human vaccine against bird flu. So not only did they fire the people that were studying the bird flu, they have also canceled all the money going into studying a vaccine for the bird flu. So basically, if we do have a bird flu epidemic, we're cooked. We are cooked, because not only are we not developing a vaccine, I don't know if they rehired the people or not that were actually studying it. I don't know. I know they didn't realize they fired the people that were studying the bird flu. That was funny. Then they scrambled, I think, to hire a lot of these people back. But the fact that they didn't even know the fact that these people were studying bird flu, and then now they're canceling vaccine contracts. Like, we're actually trying to be proactive here. Bird flu is obviously going to be a problem, enough so that they've invested hundreds of $millions into finding a vaccine. So the fact they're canceling it, I don't understand the logic in it. other than they're just complete idiotic anti-vax nut jobs. And my next video is probably going to prove my point. You guys heard about the whole raw milk stuff, right? That's what that's the new trend on right-wing health nut. This is what they think is healthy: raw milk, unpasteurized milk. And here is a video of actual Maha influencers. I can't believe that's a thing. Drinking raw milk and honey shots in the White House. Now, I think the second half of this video is satire because I can't find any news articles regarding it. But if it is, the editing is hilarious. But this is the first part of the video is definitely real. But I cannot verify if the second part is or not. I think it's like a different news story clipped in with it. But here you go.
We're about to trigger so many food scientists. Raw milk shots, say free honey from Lineage. Cheers, bottoms up. These are double shots. All right, let's do it. Let's go.
All right, back to some live video just outside of the White House. As we told you, some breaking news. We know that there are 3 fire trucks and 2 ambulances that have arrived at the White House. Apparently because 3 men decided it was a good idea to take raw milk shots in the year 2025. These men are part of the Maha movement, which is now evolving into the Make Foodborne Illness Great Again movement. Tom.
I don't think that last part was real, but that's hilarious. And whoever edited that together, bravo. Bravo. Yes, we have idiots doing, like I said, maybe natural selection will just take its course. You know, they're not getting vaccinated and now they're drinking raw milk. So if in case you're wondering what the dangers of raw milk are, you can actually go to the USDA website, a federal website, FDA.gov, and actually look at the dangers of drinking raw milk, okay? Can pose a serious health risk. Milk and milk products provide a wealth of nutrition benefits, but raw milk, i.e. unpasteurized milk, can harbor dangerous germs that pose serious health risks to you and your family. According to the CDC, and prevention from 98 to 2018, there were at least 202 outbreaks linked to drinking raw milk. These outbreaks caused 2,645 illnesses and 228 hospitalizations. CDC points out that most foodborne illnesses are not part of recognized outbreaks, and for every illness reported, many others occur. Raw milk is milk from cows, sheep, or goats, or any other animal that has not been pasteurized to kill harmful germs. Raw milk can carry dangerous germs such as Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria, Campylobacter. I hope I said that. I doubt I said that right. And foodborne illnesses, often food poisoning, causing food poisoning. These germs seriously injure the health of anyone who drinks raw milk or eats products made from raw milk. However, the germs in raw milk can be especially dangerous to people with weakened immune systems, such as transplant patients, people with HIV or AIDS, cancer, diabetes, children, older adults, pregnant women. Okay? Yes, so like I said, natural selection will take its course eventually. Yeah. Amazing, right? Amazing. This is the White House. They're drinking raw milk shots in the White House. And then they're trying to, they think they're owning the libs. They're like, oh, we're going to piss off the liberals by drinking raw milk. You're not going to piss us off, dude. We are laughing at you. You cannot possibly be that stupid and still be that. I don't understand whether that's successful, being so dumb that they honestly think raw milk is healthier for you than actual pasteurized milk. And I mean, I've been drinking milk pretty regularly for 47 years. Pasteurized milk. I'm fine. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure everybody else in the world that's been drinking pasteurized milk is also fine. But a lot of people that are drinking raw milk are not fine. They're not fine. They're not fine at all. You need to have your heads examined. How could you possibly believe that this is healthy for you? Raw milk does not kill dangerous pathogens by itself. Raw milk marketed for pets and animals is not safe for people to drink. Ivermectin, folks. Pasteurization does not reduce milk's nutritional value. Pasteurization does kill harmful germs. Pasteurization does save lives. You know what? Drink all the raw milk you want. I mean, I say keep it going. I say keep it going. Can't possibly get any dumber, can it? Can it? Maybe you can. I may have spoken too soon. So, more news on Donald Trump and his deportations. It's not going well, and it's making a lot of headlines because they're not just going after drug dealers and rapists and criminals like they claimed. Now they're going after, just regular people because of the color of their skin. They're racially profiling people. This guy, Leonardo Venegas, I don't know how to say that properly, a 25-year-old U.S.-born citizen with a real ID. Okay, was handcuffed, detained during an immigration raid in Alabama. The raid targeted undocumented workers at a construction site. Officials dismissed Garcia's valid real ID and citizenship verification, alleging the ID was fake. So why the hell do we have to get a real ID? You know what? That's a good question. Why the fuck am I going to go through all the hoops of getting a real ID if I present it to the dipshits that are supposed to know what's going on, that they're just going to pretend it's not real? Is that why I'm not, you know what? I'm not going to bother getting one. They can eat my ass. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. This is stupid. If I'm not going to go through all the hoops to try and get a real ID just for you guys to say, oh, no, that's not real. You know how hard it would be to get a fake real ID? I'm going to actually look into how hard it is to get a real ID and the process of making a real ID just to kind of prove this point. So they're just going after brown people, and now they're saying that they're getting fake real IDs, which pretty much invalidates real IDs to begin with. Am I right? I say we all burn our IDs. How about that? Why don't we just burn all of our birth documentation, all of our licenses, all of our social security cards, and then they can try and identify us that way. How about that? It's like I'm telling y'all, next year, tax strike. I'm telling y'all. I started in 2025, but I'm telling y'all, next year, you want to crush this? You want to crush this regime? Get a few million people to hold back on their taxes. I guarantee they'll come crawling back. Guaranteed. Also, cruelty is always the point with the Trump administration. A critically ill girl facing deportation could die within days if the care she has or is receiving in the United States is halted. She's a 4-year-old little girl that will die if she does not receive treatment within fucking days, y'all. Days. She could be dead right now. I'm not trying to throw a dark cloud over the situation, but you know what I'm saying? That's how serious this is. But a critically ill 4-year-old girl named Sophia, diagnosed with something called short bowel syndrome, faces deportation. An innocent kid, innocent little child, in 2025, despite receiving life-saving treatment in California. And of course, they hate that too, because God forbid this person's on like Medicaid or getting any kind of government assistance for their little baby, their innocent 4-year-old child. Republicans hate that. That's socialism. So her family received humanitarian parole in 2023 to specifically seek medical care. But the Trump administration has revoked the status and ordered them to leave, risking interruption in the essential treatment. Sophia undergoes total perinatal nutrition every 6 weeks at a children's hospital in L.A., which depends on U.S.-based healthcare infrastructure that cannot be provided if she returns to Mexico. Dr. John Arsenal stated in a letter that halting Sophia's nutrition could be fatal within days, while her attorney called this a textbook example of medical need with no justification for death. The family's potential deportation highlights conflict between immigration enforcement and urgent medical care. So they don't care if people die. They want to put billions of dollars into concentration camps in America. They obviously don't care if people die. Less mouths they have to feed, as far as they see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, cruelty is always the point with these fucking people. I'm so tired of it. Like, can't we just be better people? How hard is that? How hard is that? I don't get it. I don't get it. And on top of that, they are now tricking kids and family members into going to their scheduled asylum hearings. They are abiding by the law, so they're not breaking the law. They are abiding by the law, going to their ICE appointments, and then ICE is arresting them at their scheduled appointments and then detaining them. Crazy, right? So 20-year-old, I don't know, did I say high school? No, public school student. I don't know. A 20-year-old asylum seeker from Venezuela attending a public school, oh, it is public high school, was taken into custody by ICE agents following an immigration court hearing in Lower Manhattan. His detention followed a dismissed asylum case where he unknowingly gave up legal protections. Of course, he probably didn't understand. And it made him eligible for expedited removal under current federal policies. Advocates and officials expressed concern that this arrest disrupts communities and undermines trust in immigration courts, while the corrupt mayor Eric Adams emphasized the detention occurred outside schools without city coordination. Yeah, he doesn't have any control over this shit. I mean, he's got to be a good boy right now because they gave him... they paused his case. They didn't get rid of his case. They paused Eric Adams' case. So he has to play ball or he's going to jail. For sure. Plus, he's supposedly a Democrat. They would love to pin a Democrat to the wall. So he is abiding by their terms now. He is in their pocket. So 500 students protested in Union Square on the 27th, so a couple days ago. This is crazy. ICE finds horrific new ways to fast-track deportations. That's the headline. Huh. So, yeah, I would, if I were you, I would look into this a little bit because they're actually tricking people into going to they're not tricking them. They're scheduling appointments, and they know when they're going to be there. They know when they're going to be there, so then they just wait for them to show up to their scheduled appointment, and then they arrest them and detain them and then deport them without due process. Okay, I don't care if you come here illegally or not. Okay, America is supposed to be the land of the free. It's supposed to be the country you go to for a better life. And now we're telling people, nope, that's not what we're here for. Amazing, right? All thanks to Donald Trump. But they are failing on an epic scale. They truly are. I mean, they can only cover up and lie so much before they just look absolutely. I mean, they already look absolutely ridiculous, and it's only been 4 months. And then Donald Trump expects to have this huge turnout for this stupid ass parade here in a couple weeks. After the nightmare that he's caused for the entire American population, he honestly expects. I'm actually curious how many people show up. We'll see. If you are not a Trump supporter, don't you dare go to that. Do not dare be a single extra individual that shows up for that just because you're curious to see what a bunch of military vehicles running down the road looks like. Do not participate. Do not give them the numbers because they're going to inflate the numbers anyway. There could be 10 people there and they'd be like, we had 1 million people here yesterday. You know what I mean? Yeah, so ICE is out of control. And they wonder why attacks on ICE agents are up 400%. Huh. I wonder why, man. I don't know. Oh, fun little new website that I found that you guys might be interested in is anothertrumpdisaster.com. You could go here and actually pick out a category. It's nice and kind of interactive here. So if you want to see what he's done to our healthcare, click on health, and it'll actually tell you exactly everything Donald Trump has done regarding healthcare and the health industry. Cutting funding for women's health. Yeah. Trump asked Congress to delay prescription price negotiation. Yeah, so it's all in there. You can go to, I don't know, disease. And you can see all the dumb shit they've done to really screw this country's health system up. At least their health information system up. Foodborne illnesses could be a thing in the near future. Obviously, some of these dumbasses are voluntarily inviting foodborne illnesses by drinking raw milk. Are we surprised at this point? Social Security, DEI, veterans, education, all the firings. You could even post stuff here as well. Stories and responses you shared. Okay. So these are, you can, I guess, email them and then they'll share stories from the emails. Cool. But another good website on top of the one we just went over yesterday that showed, or a couple of days ago, that showed exactly how far along Project 2025 is. That one was freaking me out for real. You can even see what Donald Trump is. Here you go for you MAGAs. Trump's attack on free speech. You guys are these free speech absolutists. Well, Der Fuhrer is going after our free speech as we speak. So, again, another good website to go to for all the stupid shit that Donald Trump is doing. And moving on. All right, so Stephen Miller, the new rumor. I just like right-wing rumors because they're usually, a lot of times they're true. A lot of times they're fucking crazy. It sounds ridiculous, but then you find out that some of these are actually true. Rumors are Stephen Miller, who me and Mike always joke about, like if you made an AI image and if you asked ChatGPT to combine every Nazi into one person and give you an image, it would just be a picture of Stephen Miller. He literally looks like every Nazi in history combined. So Stephen Miller is part of this immigration process. He is 100% fascist, right-wing, believes in white supremacy, all that crazy shit. Okay, not a good person. He's right up there with Tom Homan, who was also helping with the immigration stuff. But the new rumor is that one of the reasons Elon Musk may have left the government, or when he left the government, he may have taken Stephen Miller's wife with him. Because Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, also quit Doge, apparently right at the same time. And there's rumors that they were having a three-way relationship. That is the rumors. I'm not even kidding you guys. All right, so here we go. A little bit of the article here. Elon Musk on Wednesday announced that his tenure as government employee is over. Thank God. Even though he's done an irreparable amount of harm to our most sensitive systems. Elon Musk announced on Wednesday, blah, 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 billionaire. Okay, let me go down a little bit. CNN sources cited to report a top advisor and spokesperson for Doge, Katie Miller, has left her position and is now working with Musk. Interesting. Okay, so Stephen Miller and his wife maybe have been having a throuple. Stephen Miller's obviously, he looks like a skeleton with skin. And Elon Musk looks, he's one of the palest people I've ever seen. So maybe it could be true. It could be, maybe not. But it's fun to speculate sometimes, you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to people like this, because I hate all of them. So if Stephen Miller's wife did in fact leave him for Elon, that would be hilarious. That would just be more falling out within the right wing. Yeah, this would cause this falling apart. It's completely falling apart. It truly is a shit show. They're turning on one another at this point. They are truly turning on one another at this point. Oh God, Jesus Christ! HHS, more HHS issues. Not even going to go over that. So I'll go over that here in a second. I forgot about that one. This is one I wanted to talk about too. I think I mentioned to you guys at the beginning of the show that we have an actual neo-Nazi, and I'm not even, this is not defamation, right? It's based on her beliefs. She is the spokeswoman for the Department of Defense. So it's Pete Hegseth's press secretary. She's basically the Caroline Leavitt for the DOD. Okay? So she worked on the 2020 campaign. And January 2025, she was director of strategic communications at the Center for Renewing Alliance, which is Russell Vogt organization, who is the founder of Project 2025, one of them, which is a Nazi manifesto. But if you go to reviews, she is called for zero immigration and mass deportation, stated that transgender people should not be allowed to own firearms and that they are not visible in a healthy country. Several of Wilson's posts on X have criticized Republicans, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Kevin McCarthy, in favor of Donald Trump. She stated Mike Johnson lacked testicular fortitude. I actually agree with that. And called Senator Lindsey Graham to be deported after they supported military aid for Ukraine. She also, Wilson has opposed U.S. military interventions, including military support for Israel and Ukraine, 2024. She referred to NATO as the International HR Department. In a One America News interview in 2023, Wilson called for Ukrainian President Zelensky to be arrested. Conversely, she praised his encyclopedic knowledge of his people's history. She also expressed support for Serbian nationalism. What the hell is that? Serbs are a nation that promotes culture and blah, 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 blah. Ethnic nationalism. Okay, some more Nazi stuff. Here you go. She also endorsed the AfD party, the Alternative for Germany, which is the new Nazi party in Germany. Okay, luckily they were recently defeated. If you guys remember, Elon Musk is also in favor of the AfD party. He spoke for them, about them, praised them. And just because, different packaging, same pile of shit. That's what it is. But she is now an actual neo-Nazi with Christian nationalist beliefs and a complete nut job. Just remember her face. That's her. Looks like, see a picture? Looks like just a normal, average, everyday young woman, right? No. Nazi. It's okay to say it. That's what she is, according to Wikipedia. Okay? They could have just saved all of this right here. Like all that with one word. Literally. Nazi. You can shorten her profile by a lot. That's her. Kingsley. Who names their daughter Kingsley? Wilson. It says she was born in 98 or 99? How do we not know what year she was born? Footnote. Citation. How do we not know she would? So she's like 26. Caroline Leavitt's what, 27? Married to some 50-something-year-old guy. Some guy's like 30, 40 years older than her. These people are gross. These people are disgusting human beings. How do people get so warped, though? I really don't understand how people get so sick and twisted like this. Oh, but going back to HHS for a second. More attacks on the transgender community. HHS issues guidance urging limits on gender-affirming treatments for minors. So they want to put restrictions on, they want to ban, if they get the big, beautiful bill, they want to ban any gender-affirming care for people on Medicaid, for kids on Medicaid. And they're trying to say kids are having transition surgeries. Kids are not doing that, okay? It's not happening to kids. The letter followed a controversial 400-page Health and Human Services review released on May 1st, which criticized the scientific basis of gender-affirming care, and it was initiated by Trump's executive order. Yep, all this because they don't want men in women's sports. It's amazing how afraid these people are of literally everything, including science. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part, is they don't believe in science. They believe in conspiracies and, quacks and made up. They literally just make up information. RFK Jr.'s right-hand person in the Health and Human Services, she's not even a doctor. She went to medical school, but she didn't finish her residency. And she's a holistic... she believes in what they call pseudoscience, which again is just a fancy way of saying it's not science. That's who's running. Is anybody in this administration actually qualified for their job? I could do a better job than this. I bet you anything. I'll bet you anything that I could go to the White House right now. I'd bet Donald Trump I could do a better job. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I bet you I could do a much better job than these idiots. And I bet you I could hire people that are more qualified than the people that Donald Trump has appointed in the office. And this is, again, why are they attacking Joe Biden's mental fitness? All you're doing is making Joe Biden look even better and making Donald Trump look worse. Because if Joe Biden was able to effectively clean up Donald Trump's mess from his first administration while being... while having his brain scrambled, allegedly, according to Jake Tapper, who's an expert on medical stuff like that. You're saying Joe Biden did all of that, but had severe dementia. And Donald Trump, who aced his cognitive exam and has the health of a collegiate athlete, and his entire staff surrounding him can't do even a fraction of the job that Joe Biden did. I mean, how much devastation has he caused in 4 months? This is supposed to last for 4 years. I feel like I've gotten 4 years worth of headlines in the last 4 months. I want it to stop. But, it gives me a lot to talk about, right? It just gets crazier and crazier, doesn't it? Make sure I covered everything. And just keep an eye on all the right-wing podcast bros, because I have a feeling their time is over. I really do. And I think it's because of Donald Trump. I truly think it's because of Donald Trump. Skip that one. Because everybody's seeing how awful Donald Trump is at his job and how awful his ideas are. They don't want to be part of it. So, they can pitch this utopian idea that they want to, but to their heads, they're pitching this most amazing utopia of only white people and women should be our slaves. That's literally what they're out there pitching, and everybody's just seeing it and play out in reality, and they're like, wow, that's not okay. I do not like what's happening, and I don't want any part of it. You know what I'm saying? Most people are going to be embarrassed to even associate with this entire mess. So the last thing I want to talk about, and I think it's obvious to most people that have eyes and a brain, that Donald Trump's mental decline is progressing at a very rapid pace, I guess is the best or the easiest way to put it. So much so that if you look at articles from outside the United States, they are talking about it. They are all clearly concerned with Donald Trump's mental stability. We are not seeing these headlines in the United States. Oh, Brina, I'm going to a protest on the 6th in D.C., which is going to be tens of thousands, hopefully hundreds of thousands of people, live bands. Dropkick Murphys are going to be playing. I'll be up front and center. I'm meeting some people there. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to D.C. on the 6th, and then I'm going to Atlantic City on the 14th for the protests. That'll be for No King's Day, and that'll be fun. So, yeah, I have a lot of content for you guys, a lot of live content on the streets. out and about, boots on the ground, on the front lines, bringing it to you live because the media doesn't want to, apparently. So hopefully you guys will be in the comments. Fundraising, Catch My Whiff is going okay. I'm at like 40%. I haven't checked to see if anybody donated this stream. We're at like $400. We're trying to get to $1,000. I got 8 days to do it. But like I said before, like you guys stepped up for me in the past. Our community is strong and very supportive. So I'm not too worried about it. It's stressful raising money for stuff like this. I'm not going to lie. I wish I just had the money to do stuff like this without having to ask people to help. Like, I wish I was independently wealthy and I was able to use my money for the forces of good. That would be nice, you know. But maybe I'm just dreaming. And we're getting there. It's coming along slow, but people have been definitely helping out. And we appreciate every bit of it. So we have a lot planned. Just keep in mind, we have a lot planned for next month. So our schedule might be a little wonky because I'll be out of the state twice. I'll be in New Jersey once, and then because I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'll be in New Jersey for the 14th, and I'll be in Washington and Maryland for the 6th for next Friday, which is, next Friday. I can't believe it's a week from tomorrow. I can't wait, dude. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. Okay, so, but yeah, again, Russia now, after Donald Trump's attacks against Putin, verbal attacks, True Social posts. I don't know. That's how he runs the country. That's how he takes care of foreign relations. Oh, I also heard that the Qatari government is kind of backing away from this whole giving Donald Trump an airplane thing. I have a feeling that deal's going to fall apart too. As well as all the bullshit deals that he announced that he made with the Middle East. I have a feeling everything's just going to fall apart. Watch. All right, so Russia brands Donald Trump a clown suffering from dementia. So Donald Trump called Vladimir Putin crazy after Russia's strike on Ukraine. So the Kremlin bots have started ruthlessly attacking Donald Trump, claiming he is a clown who suffers from dementia. A sudden shift after the U.S. president accused Vladimir Putin of having gone absolutely crazy. Trump, referring to Russia's relentless missile and drone strikes on Ukrainian civilian targets, also said, I don't know what's wrong with him. What the hell happened to him? Nothing, dude. He's been the same asshole the entire time. Officially, Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, claimed Trump was suffering an emotional overload. But after the crazy tirade, Putin propaganda bots, automated or semi-automated online accounts, massively used to disseminate Russian government or intelligence service narratives backing the dictator, went into overdrive, according to monitoring outlet Bot Nadzer. It's not Putin who's gone crazy, but Trump. Apparently, this is hereditary for all U.S. presidents. Ouch. A chair and dementia as a gift, claimed one troll. Holy shit. Putin knows America's empire has ended. They have not won any wars they entered, so Putin is goading America to put up or shut up. Oh my God, these are crazy. Oh, I don't want to sign up for this shit. So we haven't even gone to True Social to see Donald Trump's reaction to all this yet. So we're getting to that. The UK papers are also, basically the same thing. They're reporting on Putin's recent remarks. I don't hear any American publications saying the same things, though. And this was as of yesterday, and I haven't seen any news headlines, even on ground news, regarding this. Maybe there is now since I started the show. Maybe there's a little bit of a delay, but I'm just saying we're not being told what the rest of the world is being told, that Donald Trump has obviously lost his goddamn mind. And he has access to nuclear weapons. An infinite amount of money. Not infinite, but he has access to money. Lots and lots of money. All right. Lastly, but most importantly, let's check the feed. True Social. And again, the only reason I have a True Social account is to monitor Donald Trump's feed. And my name, just so you know, is at the bottom left here. It's Trump is a punk bitch. It's literally my username. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he claims he won a case, or there's a lawsuit against the Pulitzer Prize board. So he's going after Pulitzer. Great. That helps nobody. Then he posts this, a billboard that says Trump was right about everything, except for literally everything. He has been so fucking, not only has he been wrong, like he has been more wrong than any possible. You couldn't be more wrong. And he has the nerve to post, Trump was right about everything. Holy shit. Then we get this gem. This was 20 hours ago. He posts this photoshopped or AI image that says he's on a mission from God. Yes, the accused pedo, the accused, adjudicated sexual abuser, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, the guy who stole documents, the guy who defrauded the state of New York for hundreds of millions of dollars, the guy who lies about literally everything, the guy who slept with a porn star while his wife was pregnant or just had their baby. He's on a mission from God. Did I miss anything? I'm sure I missed a lot, but that's about it. Right? That's about sums it up, right? That guy's on a mission from God. That's who God is supporting. That fucking guy. You must be out of your mind. You must be out of your mind if you think Donald Trump is sent by God. You know, MAGA's going to be real disappointed if the apocalypse happens and the world ends or the rapture does happen. They are not going to be happy with the result. I mean, first of all, you think Jesus is white, which is an extreme contradiction to the entirety of the Bible. It even says in the Bible Jesus isn't white. So if you're not even going to, so you're going to get the pearly gates of heaven, and God's going to be like, wait, you denied my son's skin color. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't even admit that my son is not white. And you think that somehow you're a good Christian? And I like how they define what good Christian is. You know what I mean? Like Marjorie Taylor Greene calls herself a good Christian. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's reposting TikToks now too. This is the distraction. They're now going to, again, Joe Biden's dying, guys. Joe Biden has terminal cancer. Kathy, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that so much. So they're going after a dying man over his mental fitness, and they're using Jake Tapper, a hack CNN reporter, as a whistleblower. And they're saying that the auto pen was the real president. This is dumb. Like, this is giving me a migraines kind of dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to even process how stupid some of these people are. Like, look, this woman on TikTok is so confident and so, like, I call confidently stupid. Like, they're so wrong and they're so dumb, but they're so confident about it at the same time. It's kind of weird to watch. But, yeah. Okay, what else do we got? That's about it. He did not post that much today. Wow. I'm surprised. I thought he was going to. I'm actually disappointed. But this one's a classic. This one's getting saved. Yeah, because that's not weird at all, is it? We'll save that one. I have some ideas for this one. Yeah, AI is going to help me with this one. And honestly, you know, I have a different view on religion. I do. My view on religion is I believe in, not religion, but God itself. Like, I believe in God. I just don't believe in religion. It's called being a deist, which I didn't even know this, but I guess some of the founding fathers were even deists back in the day. I didn't even know it was a thing. But my thing is, like, if there is a heaven and MAGA go there, or anybody that worships Jesus and God enough, regardless of how shitty they were on earth. So basically, Adolf Hitler could be in heaven right now, is what they're saying. Jeffrey Dahmer, if he believed in Jesus enough and God enough, and was a good Christian and went to church, he could be in heaven. Like, I can't believe in a religion that says everything is forgiven, because there are some things in his life that just are unforgivable. And what you're doing, like if you think you're going to heaven, and if that's the case, if I get to heaven one day, hopefully I'm lucky and I get there one day, and I see that there's a bunch of red hats inside, I'm asking for an express ticket to hell and being happy about it. There's no way I'm going to spend my entire life or a good chunk of my life dealing with MAGA just to deal with them in the eternal afterlife too. Get out of my face with that shit. And you guys are really, really out of your damn minds. You are truly in a cult. You have taken Christianity and turned it into something even more dystopian than it is to begin with. Yeah, it's sickening to watch, because I know a lot of people, I think faith is important in life. I think you should have faith in things, especially when it comes to, after death, whatever makes you more comfortable in life. But turning a 2,000-year-old religion into this, like, only white people get into heaven, is that like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that, how does that work? You only want white people in America? Like, what happens when you get to heaven and you see there's black and brown people there? Are you going to deport them too? Like, what's your plan? Okay. Okay. And claiming you're a good Christian because you read the Bible, even though you're a shitty human being, I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing it, especially from people as just atrocious as Marjorie Taylor Greene. Truly one of the most reprehensible human beings on planet Earth. But they claim they're good Christians and they're going to be in heaven and they're going to meet God. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I guarantee Donald Trump is definitely not on the list. Okay, so get that out of your head right now. Not only was he not sent by God, it was more likely he was sent by the devil himself. That is more of a likelihood than Donald Trump being on a mission from God. Give me a break with this stuff. These people are truly delusional. And this is why we say it's a cult. And you know what? I truly believe that Trump derangement syndrome is real. And they have it. We do not have it. Because we're laughing at this. We understand how dangerous it is, but we are laughing at you guys for this shit. So, yeah. And what the hell is with the frog dude in the back? Did you guys see this? What the hell? Hold on a second. What the... I just caught this before we go. What the fuck is this? Let me see if I can zoom in. Hold on. Bro, what in the living shit is that? Does anybody know what the fuck that is? And why is it this picture with Donald Trump on a mission from God? What is that? I'm confused, bro. What is this? What? It's just like a little cartoon character in the back of this picture of Donald Trump looking all serious. What in the hell? What is that over there? Okay, that looks just like a person. That's funny. That is hilarious. I don't know what to make of this. Yeah, I hope you guys like that one. That's funny, right? I'm on a mission from God, and then this little dinosaur guy in the background's watching him. That's so funny. Nobody can stop what's coming. Or maybe it's I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to make of this. It's so embarrassing, man. I'm so humiliated right now to be an American. So yeah, those of you from Canada, those of you from not in the United States right now, just don't come here. Don't come here right now. If you have plans to come to the United States in the near future, please do not. Do not. As a matter of fact, I hope they cancel the Olympics. I hope they cancel the World Cup and just take it all away from Donald Trump. Every bit of glory that he wants and hopes for in the next 4 years, I hope everybody just takes it away from him. Gives him no reason to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing. Plus, if you're an athlete, especially a female athlete, after what happened during the last Olympics, You honestly want to come to the United States, and then if you have muscular features, they're going to accuse you of being trans and then possibly lock you up in a detention center. Okay? Cis women athletes are going to be in danger this next Olympics. I hope they realize that. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for today. Oh, it's a cartoon. Is it a cartoon? That's just hilarious. I don't know why I just saw that out of the corner of my eye before I closed it. But that's all I have for today, guys. It was actually a good news day. Watching Donald Trump get his ass handed to him over and over and over again brings me such joy. I can't even express it in words. So, again, though, guys, don't forget, we do have a couple protests coming up. And, yeah, if you're willing to donate at all, we're at like 40% of our goal. We got 8 days to go until I leave. Well, actually, 7 days to go until I leave, because I'm going up the night before, hopefully, and staying the night. So, yeah, if you guys can help us out, we're trying to get to $1,000. And like I said, we're in crunch time now. It's my call to action. We got a week to go. If you're able to help, great. If not, please just share, like, interact with this video, and tell your friends. You know, word of mouth is important as well. Or if you know anybody that wants to sponsor or donate to the cause or donate to a cause or a good cause, let them know. We do a lot of live streaming, and we're boots on the ground with this stuff. We're bringing you the actual protests, you know, going out in the streets. And I hope people do. I mean, not to be dramatic, but we are risking our actual freedom to do this too. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's not really being dramatic in the current environment, because they are threatening to, you know, lock people up. They're going after Americans. I've seen the police treat protesters with the utmost amount of disrespect. I've seen people being just treated with violence from the cops. Like, the cops are supposed to serve and protect, but now Donald Trump has emboldened them and basically turned them into his own private little army. So there's going to be a lot of conflict in the near future. And again, I don't mean violence, but there's going to be a lot of conflict in the near future. And it's not going to go Donald Trump's way. It's not. I'm convinced that they're going to fail on an epic scale. But again, it took Joe Biden to clean up. It took Joe Biden 4 years just to clean up Donald Trump's first mess, and his first mess in 4 years did not do the amount of damage that he's done in the 4 months of his second term. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. We have a lot of work to do, and Mike and I will be trying to document it all as much as possible. This will be my 7th and 8th protest this year. Okay, and it's only going to be June, so I'm averaging more than one a month at this point. Plus, I have a couple coming up in my local area, too, that I'm going to live stream. I like bringing the smaller communities, just showing you guys the smaller communities, too, because if it reaches the smaller communities, that's very important. You know, when you see people in cities of 30,000 and they're out in the streets, you got a couple hundred people out in the streets, that's very significant. It means it's reached our communities. It's not just in the big cities anymore. You know, local people are mobilizing as well. They're not just waiting for the big protests to go to. Everybody's out in the streets on a regular basis too. So a lot of good things are happening, guys. Stay optimistic. You know, we're going to be here the whole time. You guys love us. We love you. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you encouraging us and being so supportive. So we love you all. I hope you guys have a really good night. I'll be back on tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And then I've been streaming for almost 2 weeks straight, so I may actually take a day off on Saturday just to unwind, because we have a lot of important guest podcasts coming up the next couple weeks. Also, we have a very special guest from TikTok who has been receiving cease and desist letters from people involved in the Unfuck America tour. I invited her on the show to talk about the harassment she's been getting from them, just for speaking out against them and what they're trying to do. So that should be interesting. I told her, you got free reign to say whatever you want. We do not care. So that's going to be an interesting episode. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good night. We love you all. Interview Adam Kinzinger if he'll be there. I don't know. I don't think they've actually announced in the other podcasts and chat. I don't know. I don't know why I don't do that. I stay out. I get in trouble in the comments a lot of times, so I tend to stay out of comments. I do another podcast. I don't get to watch a lot of live podcasts, which is where you get to do a lot of interacting. A lot of times I feel like a lot of the bigger creators, too, just don't even look at the comments or anything like that. You know what I mean? So But I should be able to interview some people. I don't know who yet, but I should be able to meet some high-profile people because as of right now, I don't even know who's going to be there. So, yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a good night. And again, like always, we love you guys.